it can be really stressful to um, just repeat a narrative that you've been hearing from other people to then other people on your team. And then you all of a sudden start to, not really be able to trust yourself, because then you're looking for this, wisdom outside yourself when you ultimately, I believe, have it within you.
They say it's lonely at the top. They're right. But you don't have to scale your company alone. Welcome to the Scaling CEO. I'm Glenn Gow, the CEO Success Coach. On this podcast, I sit down with top performing CEOs to uncover the hidden patterns and frameworks behind their success so you can avoid common pitfalls and accelerate your company's growth. Now, on to the show. Most people travel, but few truly explore. My guest today has built his entire company around solving that problem. I'm speaking with Zach Smith, the founder and CEO of Anywhere.com. Zach is a travel innovator and cultural connector who believes that travel has the power to transform the world. He started his journey not in a boardroom, but on the ground in Costa Rica, one of my favorite countries, working in reservations. Today, he leads a global company dedicated to moving people beyond the mass travel maps into immersive, sustainable, and ethical travel that creates a lasting impact. Zach hasn't just built a travel company, he's scaled a mission centered on real human connection. We're going to dig into how he did it and what he's learned about scaling both a company and a personal philosophy. Zach, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, Glenn.
So let's start with you. And you started out with a psychology degree from the University of Oregon. Go Ducks.
All right.
How has understanding the human psyche been your secret weapon in scaling a company that's built entirely on creating real human connection?
Well, I would say a big part of our mission has always been to do what we promise to do, and to just build that momentum of trust one interaction at a time. And so I had to do that with...
Oh, I'm sorry, you said momentum of trust. Was that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Tell me, elaborate on that. I love that phrase.
Well, I think, at the fabric of cooperation, of the complex civilization that we have, is actually trust, ultimately. People need to, just feel like they're connected and valued and understood and not being taken advantage of. And, ultimately that starts to film a fabric of trust.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So tell me more about how that fits into scaling a company.
Well, at certain periods of time, you might not have the ingredients to scale the company. You might need to operate with constraint for a while in order to, really ensure that, the seeds of your business are ready to sprout and grow.
Right.
So, we've taken a very organic approach to our business. We've taken on more ambitious challenges over time, but it hasn't always meant, well, let's just press the scale button and, pile a bunch of fire or fuel on the flames. So I'm a little bit, wary of just this pursuit of like scale, at every moment of your business. I think it's important to consider a lot of the variables that, sit beneath that.
Such as?
Unit economics, such as, the technology, the market offering, whatever resources, exist. And again, I think just there's a unspoken, well, not unspoken, but there is a value to constraint that, again, I think a lot of entrepreneurs fall victim to, not understanding there's value there in having more constraint.
Please tell me, seriously, tell me more. I'm like, value to constraints is not a phrase I hear very often. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on
that. Okay. Well, some of the, largest, organisms on the planet such as the giant sequoia, for example,
Yeah.
they go through periods where they're not growing. They're in a dormant cycle going deeper into the roots. So there's not necessarily this like grand tree in year 3, 4, 5, but you fast forward to 200 years and it's massive. And of
Right.
course, we need to embody some of those attributes. Of course, we can't wait hundreds of years to sustain in this you know complex market economy. However, I do think there are some lessons to be drawn from um, growing, deeper and wide versus straight up into the scale pursuit.
Sure. I talk a lot with my CEOs about how to build infrastructure, which
Mm-hmm.
is most CEOs actually don't want to spend a lot of time on that. They
Right.
want to just grow, grow, grow.
Make the numbers go up because they're working for investors oftentimes, and the investors want to see the numbers go up.
Well,
So
but sometimes it collapses, Zach,
yeah,
because
yeah, that's right.
there's no infrastructure. So
Right.
So I hear you. You're saying there's true value in building out the, let's call it the root structure
Yes,
and the base of that tree,
that's right.
in order for the tree to grow.
That's right.
Is that a good way to think about it?
Absolutely.
So let's touch on scaling for a moment. So looking back at your journey from a small operation in Costa Rica to the global anywhere.com, what's the single biggest insight that would have saved you months of pain and struggle? Remember, we have CEOs listening in here, Zach. Let's see what lessons we can impart.
Vanity metrics. Okay, listen, anywhere.com is a kind of a vanity name, right? We had been slowly building our travel network through separate URLs for periods of time. So
Okay.
anywhere, CostaRica.com, we built authority there, had thousands of people a day on that website. So we're like, oh, we built this durable kind of like online guidebook with a travel agency and technology beneath it to help bridge the gap between knowledge and then actual experiences on the ground. So we started launching that independent websites in various geographies. And then it was like, this would be easier if we just had one brand.
Right.
It was just one website, one place people would go. That would be great. And, we were in a fortunate position to be able to self-finance our growth and self-finance that acquisition of an expensive domain. Worked, really hard with a team of engineers based in the US to kind of get everything ready. And then, we flipped the switch and we're like, we have this great mandate. Here we are. And we lost a lot of our authority traffic. We did all the like 301 redirects correctly. But it was just like this build up. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be fun. Everyone's going to love it. And then it was like, whoa, all of our in-market travelers are not finding us anymore.
Oh,
Crap.
wow.
And so, then, that was a period where, sometimes that like expansive growth thing can backfire. And
Right.
so, we had to, go back into, all right, well, what can we do? Let's do some more digital ads. Let's do some more email marketing. And let's do some of these other things that we have control over. And, that pulled us out of the rut a bit. And then COVID hit. So, we couldn't control that. And we just had to kind of be in this position where be patient and wait for our brand value to reemerge, which was helping facilitate travel across borders and make complex travel easier for clients. So that whole industry got put on pause for a little while.
That's right.
And so if we had mass scale and we were just going to shove money into that brand, it just wouldn't have worked. So.
And so now, do you feel like you've fully recovered from that, or is it how long is that journey to make that kind of change?
Yeah, we're pretty well recovered. Yeah. Oh yeah. And working on just the kind of this. Again, I'm maybe a little bit counter to some of your guests, but we have a lot of primary data in our business. We have a lot of internal tool sets, and so we are attempting to scale in the most natural way possible. So
Right.
based on real market pull
Uh-huh.
and clients that really continue to have wonderful experiences with us, and that being amplified and rippled around. So that's our version of yeah, steadily scaling and amplifying. Yeah.
So do I hear that maybe word of mouth is a particularly important element to your growth?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Which again, word of mouth, the best, not often talked about, not easily scalable in some ways. However, it is very durable when you provide uh, an experience that resonates emotionally with customers. They can't
Yeah.
help but to tell other people.
Yeah,
And
no,
so,
yes, I understand. So let me ask you uh more of a, I don't know if this is a technical question or not, but so great, you create great experiences. How do you then get people to contribute to the word of mouth? Because not everybody's naturally wired to do that. How do you make it easy for people to support what you've created for them?
um, we're still working on that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have some products that we're going to be launching soon as it relates to a travel compass. So that means our clients can start building future trip ideas. There also is a referral uh, opportunity within that. So we're trying. We have some more tools that are done, but we just I've kind of been rolling them out slowly in little test cases with certain clients,
Uh-huh.
and so that's kind of the approach we take versus just kind of press the button and send it to hundreds of thousands of people. It's like we want to really learn and grow and really develop the the, the best practices. So speed um, of scaling, I think, is something that we're a little like a little counterposition to maybe what happens in some other businesses.
Yeah.
Um, because we find that we just have a very sensitive relationship with our clients, and we just don't really want to flood them with hey things that are going to benefit us. We want to make sure that it's a mutually beneficial relationship all the time.
Right. So, question for you about authenticity.
Mhm.
You and I were talking about that word earlier. So, when I go look at some travel sites, I'll give you an example. I looked at some cool thing to do in New Zealand
Mhm.
and had something like 3,000 5-star reviews. And I thought to myself, I can't believe that. I'm going to completely dismiss those reviews. I don't think they have any authenticity at all. That was my reaction, just because I think that can be gamed. So, how do you overcome that concern that I might have of, oh, you're gaming the system with this word of mouth approach?
Hmm. Well, I'm just showing up and being here.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I had to learn because we actually did, and it's something I've avoided, to be honest, for almost, well over a decade. I just haven't really been the face or the, in front of the business. I felt like I'm a bridge builder behind the scenes, making sure that things work.
Yep.
However, we did some, testimonial videos with some recent clients, and they had a similar reaction. They're like, "Oh, these 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, which can't be faked, by the way. Those are Trustpilot reviews. They're independent of our
Okay.
own
Okay.
website." But they still had that same feeling that you mentioned, where this could be gamed or this is too good to be true. Therefore, it must be some sort of sophisticated scam or whatever. And so I'm just being like, oh my gosh, this is just one more test that
Yeah.
have to overcome,
Right.
and
Right.
just get out there and communicate the deeper purpose behind why we have the sort of business we have, and what we're all about. And it's really about no moment of regret. So we specialize in complex travel. So there might be, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 different points of failure on your trip.
Right.
All these different transports, tours, various hotel check-ins, moving around to different locations. When everything flows seamlessly, that's something that like you have to experience and feel before
Right.
you really get it. And so that's one of our challenges, but I'm steadily working on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it. I did
Yeah.
have a wonderful experience once, traveling actually in Costa Rica, where I remember we were taking a Jeep out into the jungle and there was this intersection. And so the Jeep stops and we wait like an hour and then another Jeep shows up and we just move from Jeep A to Jeep B and it takes us deeper into the jungle. And it was such a beautiful handoff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
it could have gone crazy, right? It could have all broken down, but we're here. We are in the middle of nowhere, and we're trusting in the travel company to make sure there are good people showing up with good equipment to take care of us, and it was wonderful.
Yeah. And I mean, really, like what we're trying to deliver to our clients is presence in an
Mhm.
unfamiliar place, a
Oh, that's
place where they might not speak the language or, they're like never been there. It looks different, feels different. Um, People are different. However, they get into this peace of mind state when they realize that everything that they planned and they co-created with our team of local experts is actually being executed in the real world.
yeah,
And so
that's a great
then,
feeling.
yeah, and again, that's so that that mindset, while you're traveling, while you're doing this, really, you're exploring a country with your family. You're not just flying and flopping and going to a resort for a
Right.
week and, hitting up the buffet line. That's not really travel. That's not really exploring your world. So we really try to enable it and make it easier to explore your world.
Okay, that's great.
Hmm.
Now, you've chosen a path which I respect tremendously on how to grow and scale the company. Other CEOs might be approaching things in a completely different way. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on what blind spots you notice other CEOs have when they're just heads down trying to scale their companies. This super fast growth you and I were talking about earlier.
I try not to judge, but ultimately,
Think of it as competitive analysis.
yeah. Well, I think that there's trade-offs to it, and again, I feel like in our particular industry, it's there's a almost a calling that I've had to be um, really sensitive to this cross-cultural connection, and so in the case of me, just jamming more reservations into a market
Yeah.
is not uh, just to make the numbers go up, does not necessarily maintain a balance of the eco cultural and sustainable
Okay.
nature of travel and visitors experiencing a place. So in the industry of travel, that the big scaled up businesses, they've essentially crafted a very large vending machine where
Mm,
you, the visitor, can select all these different buttons and get a contract, and you get a service and hope it goes well. However, they don't thread your entire trip as an experience. And so
right.
that's what we do, as well as instead of having sales agents that speak, in the same form of California English or whatever you want to call it, to sell you a trip to some other place. So Costa Ricans are going to be your trip designers for Costa Rica. Peruvians are going to be your trip designers for Peru. Ecuadorians are going to be your trip designers for Ecuador. So we really try to make that cultural connection happen
Well,
right
beautiful.
at the beginning. And so I feel like that helps balance the value chain. So it's a lot of wins.
Okay, beautiful. I appreciate that. The localization of even the design of the trips. I could see how powerful that could be. Let's
Yeah.
switch to I have two more questions for you. Um, so in the world of scaling a business, I believe it's brutally hard. And let's assume you're here now to give advice to other CEOs. So there's a CEO out there who's struggling right now, feeling like they're about to lose their company or maybe their sanity. So what's your advice? So what's the one thing they need to hear to keep going?
Stop listening to narratives.
Okay, talk more about that.
Well, I mean, you just have to start to realize what information lies within you and just be more connected to the primary information you have within your business. And yes, it is helpful to find somebody to communicate with if you feel stuck,
Yep.
um, but also to begin to really trust that internal knowledge that you've built up through your experience. A lot of people look beyond themselves for advice and, you know, actions, and of course, we rely on specialists to do plenty of things within any organization of size. However, I think that there's a balance there, and sometimes it can be really stressful to um, just repeat a narrative that you've been hearing from other people to then other people on your team, and then you all of a sudden start to, not really be able to trust yourself, because then you're looking for this, wisdom outside yourself when you ultimately, I believe, have it within you.
Oh, I love that. I was talking to a CEO the other day, and he was trying to learn, which is great. I love that, right? Trying to learn from lots of other examples, and ultimately, I said, "Look, you need to be you,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to bring what you bring to the party and your beliefs to the party, and people will get that. They will respond to that in a very positive way. Your customers will, your partners will, your employees will, and that goes back to literally the word authentic that you and I've been talking about so much. So I really love that. Okay, so here comes the last question, and I'm going to go back to this authenticity theme
Mm-hmm.
here. And your entire brand is founded on authentic human connection. Now, here comes AI, the ultimate tool for scaling in an impersonal way. So, as AI becomes more integrated into everything we do, how does it change the way you think about scaling a business that promises tailored and transformative human experiences?
Well, I think everyone still wants a taste for the real world, and you might be able to get some. There's definitely efficiency levers with AI.
Right.
Absolutely. We have essentially done personalization in a hand built way
Uh huh.
for a long time, and so we have a copious amounts of data. We have integrated AI uh, into some of those practices. It can be helpful. However, I think our core values are really maybe help give you some idea. So connection is one of our core values, and so
Right.
connection is human to human connection,
Right.
and that is a feeling, and you don't get it from a screen.
Yeah.
You get it from what resonates within you when uh, you're present with another person that you're resonating with. And so
Yeah.
that happens among families or among loved ones when they're traveling. It happens with, our drivers, our guides, our other, collaborators that help, connect with the client. So the digitization of information and, personalizing your experience, that's going to get a little bit more efficient here and there, but ultimately it does come down to that real world experience. And
Right.
so that's something that we're specialists in, and
Right.
you're gonna know whether or not you're feeling, you're feeling it. And so,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
Well, one
yeah,
thing you may have an advantage of over others is all the data you said you have, and if AI can somehow be an advisor to either the trip planners or people uh, handling customer service or whatever, I have a feeling that's going to help you a
oh
lot.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know the things that create that feeling at the customer level, whether it's the
yeah,
first time they call you or the first time they see what an itinerary might look like
hmm
or when they have a problem on a trip, all of that. I think you can wind up being smarter than anybody else in the industry by leveraging that kind of data.
yeah. And again, we've always taken the approach that yeah, travel's not really about a transaction. It's about, and it's not really about places either.
Yeah,
It's about trust, and it's about people.
yeah, yeah.
And
I love that.
so we start with understanding the intent of your unique you, who you are. So we haven't been like focused on, oh, let's just filter 500 hotels by all these different things. We have those tools, but really we want to just have a connect for you to feel like you're getting a connected trip.
Yeah.
So every aspect of that trip flows together. And so in order to do that, we need to understand your intent. We need to understand your preferences. We need to understand that on a deeper level in order to
Right.
match you.
That's
And
great.
so that's what our platform has specialized into.
I love it. I love it. Zach, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure.
Absolutely, Glenn.
I love the focus of creating. I'm taking away creating the feeling is something that is very hard to duplicate, and is what causes people to come back. And it sounds like you guys are doing a fantastic job at that. So congratulations.
It's an ongoing, never-ending pursuit. So it's great. Thank you very
So,
much, Glenn.
Zach, tell us how listeners can reach you.
Well, our website is anywhere.com. I'm on LinkedIn occasionally. I'm not a big social poster, but I'm available there. My email is b@anywhere.com. So happy to connect with anyone who wants to learn more or interested in getting matched to the right travel experience.
Fantastic. I may show up. All right,
I'll welcome you with open arms.
All right. Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, Glenn.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Scaling CEO. If you found this valuable, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with a fellow CEO who could benefit. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please give us a quick rating as it really helps more people find the show. I'm Glenn Gao, the CEO Success Coach. See you next time for more proven strategies to grow your business and leadership.